Today I'm going to explain to you how Radix sort works. Now before I give you the algorithm, let me discuss with you what is the basic idea of the Radix sort. Now Radix sort considers the digits that are used in the number system in which the numbers we are sorting lies. So over here we are all dealing with decimal numbers, so there would be 10 digits in our Radix sort. So Radix sort creates a two-dimensional array. It creates a two-dimensional array where the rows are the row number represents each digit of the number system. So there are 10 rows in this two-dimensional array, but the number of columns is different. Number of columns is not the same. Now what is the purpose of the columns? Let's see that. Now when we parse through this numbers, we check first the unit digits of each of the number. So Radix sort starts with the unit digits of each of the numbers. So over here the unit digit is 0. Unit digit of this number is 0. So in this 0th row, this number is stored as the 0th element. As the 0th element of this row, the number 10 is stored. Clear? Next comes the number 50. Now when we come to the number 50, the unit digit number of the number 50 is also 0. So the number of column in this row is increased to 1 and 50 is put in this particular row again. Clear? Now comes 432, which is the unit digit number 2. So since 2 is the unit digit number, we will come to the row that has 2 as the row number, and as the 0th element of this row we will put 432. Clear? Now comes the number 24. Unit digit number is 4. So we will come to the row which has the row number as 4, and 24 will be put into this row as the 0th element. So as you can understand that the number of columns in the rows would differ. So that's why there has to be a way to maintain the number of columns in each of the rows. There has to be a technique in our algorithm how we maintain the number of columns in each of the rows. Okay, so let's continue. 65. So obviously the unit digit number is 5 over here. So 65 will be put as the 0th element of this row that has got 5 as its number. Right? 256. 256 will be the first element of this particular row that has got 6 as its number. 39 will be the 0th element of the 10th row, or the row that has got row number as 9. 4 will be inserted, or will be the first element of 0th element was 24 and the first element will be 4. Then there is 9, which will again come to this particular number row which has got 9 as the row number. Correct? So once the numbers have been categorized according to the unit place digit, these numbers are again put back into the array. Again I will repeat, once the numbers has been categorized based on their unit digit number, they are again put back into the array. And now how do you put back into the array? They are put back into the array in order. That means we will start from the 0th row and we will start putting those back in the array. So 10, 50, the next row is empty, so we will come to this row, 432, 24 and 4, 24 and 4, then we have 65, then we have 256, then we have 39 and 9. Correct? So in this way the array would get reorganized after the pass 1, that means after the first iteration. Now in the second iteration, the second digit of all the numbers would be considered the tens place. The first pass was on the basis of the units place, and this would be on the basis of the tens place, right? So again another array would be created, or two-dimensional array will be created. In that two-dimensional array, again the rows will be the digits of the number system that we are using. So now we will start off with the tens place digit of each of the numbers. So what is the tens place digit of this number? 1. So obviously this number will be inserted as the 0th element of the row that has the row number as 1. Correct? So you see in the previous pass 10 was put in the row having the row number 0. Now it has been put in a row that has got row number 1 based on its tens place digit. Then comes 50. So 50 will be inserted in the row that has row number as 5. 432, the tens place is 3. So it will be put as the 0th element of the row that has got 3 as the number. 24 will be inserted in the second row. All these are 0th element. All these are 0th element of the rows. After that 4. Now when you come to the digit 4, there is no tens place number. Correct? So tens place number will be 0. So as a result it will be put in the 0th row, because the tens place, there is no tens place number and the tens place number is 0. Correct? 65 will be put over here because it is 6 as the tens place digit. 256 will become the second number in the row of 5. Correct? 39 will become the second number in the row number 3. 9 has again no tens place digit, so 9 will become the second number in the 0th row. Correct? So after the second pass, this will be how the array will be arranged, how the two-dimensional array is arranged. So again, what is the process? Again the process is we again rewrite the array or rearrange the array according to this two-dimensional array that we have created in the Radix sort, right? So first we start with the 0th row. So 4, 9, 10, 24, 432, 39, 50, 256 and 65. Correct? So again we rearrange the array, and this is the condition after the second pass. Now comes the third pass. In third pass, again we create another two-dimensional array with the same concept, and now we do the same exercise using the third place digit. We do the same exercise using the third place digit. So now, when we are doing the third pass will be on the third digit of the hundredths place digit of the number. It will be based on the hundredths place digit of the number. Correct? So let's start. Very carefully, we have to check. The third place number of 4 is nothing. It is 0. There is no third place number in this number 4. Correct? So it will be placed in the 0th row. Then comes 9. There is no third place number in 9, so it will come over here in the 0th row. 10. No third place number. Again it will come in the 0th row. All these, the number of columns in the 0th row will start increasing. Then 24 will be placed in the 0th row because it has got no third, the hundredths place digit. 432 is a 3-digit number and the third place digit is 4. So it will be placed as the first number in the 4th row, or 5th row rather, the row having the number 4. 39, again it will be placed in the 0th row. 50, 0th row. And obviously the column numbers in the 0th row will keep on increasing. 256, again a 3-digit number, so it will be inserted in the row that has got its number as 2, that is the 3rd row. 256, it will become the 0th number of the 2nd row. 65, again in the 0th row. Correct? So you can understand, since all these numbers, the 2-digit numbers or the 1-digit single-digit numbers, they do not have any third digit in their number. That's why they all have been placed in the 0th row. Right? Now again, as we have seen in the previous case, we rewrite the numbers in the array starting from the first row. So 4, 9, 10, 24, 39, 50, 65, then we have 256 and we have 432. Correct? Now if you look at the array, this array that we have got, it is totally sorted. Correct? Now since there are only 3-digit numbers in our array, we do not have any 4-digit numbers in our array, we will stop the process over here. So we will stop the process once the number of iterations is equal to the maximum number of digits that can be found in the numbers in the array. Clear? So this is called Radix sort, where the numbers are sorted according to the digits that they carry in their numbers, right? And the number, the radix would contain 10 digits when we are considering a decimal number system. And we bucket out the numbers in the rows in a 2-dimensional array and then rearrange the numbers again in the array to get the sorted array. Now I would give you the algorithm and I will show you how this process of bucket is getting created, how the digits are getting extracted in each of the iterations, and this bucket is getting created in the algorithm. Now in this algorithm of radix sort, you see R gives you the radix, that is number of digits in the system. n gives the number of numbers in your array. Now in my array, the example that I was already showing you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 numbers. So obviously there the n value would be 9. Mod 4. Now this mod represents the maximum number of depth or the maximum number of digit in your numbers. So over here depth has been taken, or the mod has been taken as 4, and we know that the example that we were doing previously has maximum 3-digit numbers, so we can take this as 3. And if we want to increase the number of digits in the numbers in the array, then this number has to be changed. Clear? Now we would be calling the Radix sort. We will be calling the Radix sort with the array. And inside the Radix sort, we would be calling this arrange function. The arrange function would be arranging the elements of the array into the 2-dimensional array that we had already discussed. So this arrange function is going to extract each digits and it is going to create this 2-dimensional array. Correct? Now, so this for loop inside the Radix sort runs from depth 0. Depth 0 would give you the unit place digit or units place, and it goes till less than mod. So this loop is where each of the units place, tens place, hundreds place is getting counted. This loop counts which place or which place digits we are extracting, right? I will elaborate. When depth is 0, that means we are working on the units place digits. When depth is equals to 1, that means we are working on the tens place digit of the numbers. When depth is equals to 2, that means we are dealing with the hundreds place digits of the numbers. Clear? Now come to the arrange function. In the arrange function, this count, this array is important, and this temp is the 2-dimensional array that we are creating. So this 2-dimensional array that we are creating in Radix sort is this temp array. You see R represents the number of digits that are there in your number system, and n represents the total number of numbers, right? Count R. Now what is the importance of this count R? This count R is going to keep track of number of numbers in each of the rows. As we have seen in our example, the number of numbers in each of the rows, they differ. Over here this row has got 2 numbers, this row has got 1 number, again this row has got no numbers at all, this row has got 2 numbers, again this row has got 1 number. So the number of numbers in each of the rows are different. For example, in the third iteration, the 0th row has got 7 numbers. So to keep track of number of numbers in each of the rows, this count array is required. Now how count array is doing that, I would explain to you as we go through the algorithm, right? So at the very beginning, let's see what is happening. Over here a for loop has been created for I is equals to 0, I less than R, that is the number of digits, that is 10, I plus plus, count I equal to 0. That means an array has been created, and array has been created called count, and all the values inside this has been set to 0, and the index of that count array starts from 0 and it goes till 9. right? Now let's come to the next loop. No, before we come to the loop, this is another important statement. Trunc is equals to int pow 10 comma depth. Now this trunc is the statement using which you will find out a power of 10 or an index using which the number can be truncated. For example, pow 10 comma depth. At this moment my depth is 0. This is my first iteration. I'm working on units place number. So my depth is 0. So 10 to the power 0 will give me 1. So trunc value at this moment at the very first pass is 1. So when we are considering this first pass, the trunc value is 1. Correct? Now this is the loop where each of the numbers, the digits of each of the numbers are extracted and they are organized in the two-dimensional array. Let's see how it is done. Xi, that means you are taking the ith element of the array and you are dividing it by the trunc value that we have found out, and then mod 10. So let's do this. Over here my first array number is 10. So 10 divided by the trunc value, that is 1, would give me 1, and then mod 10. So 10 divided by 1 mod 10 would give me 0, because 10 divided by 1 is 10, mod 10 is 0. Correct? So now let's see what they are doing in the algorithm, this trunc values or the digits. Temp digit. So what digit did we get over here? The digit that we got is 0. Let's again come back to this. Let's again come back to the algorithm. Digit is equals to xi divided by trunc mod 10. So the digit value that we got is 0. So temp digit, that means temp 0. Count digit. What is the value of digit? 0. So count 0. Count 0. Now you have to check what is the value of count 0. The value of count 0 is 0. Correct? So digit 0 and count 0 value is also 0. So 0, 0 is where you are storing the value of xi. That means the temp 0, 0. So 0th row, 0th column, 0th row and 0th column, we are storing the value 10. So you see, that is what we had done. In the 0th row and 0th column we had stored the value 10. So in the 0th row, 0th column, the algorithm is storing the value 10, and over here if you see carefully, there is a count digit plus plus. That means after the count digit has been extracted, this count 0 value will be increased by 1. That means this count 0 value, which was 0 before, will now become a 1. Correct? Now when we do the next number, you will understand how this is helpful. When we go back to the next number, what is the next number in the list? The next number in the list is 50. Now when you do over here 50 divided by 1, 50 divided by 1 will give you 50, mod r, 50 divided by 1, that is 50, mod 10. So again it will give you a value 0, right? Now when it is giving you the value 0, actually this is calculating this digit is calculating your row number in which we are going to put the number. Correct? This digit value is calculating the row number in which you are going to put your number. So over here, previously the row number had come out to be 0. Now also the row number has come out to be 0. So in the 0th row number and in the column count 0, we are going to place xi. Now what is the value of count 0? Count 0 keeps the count of the number of columns in the 0th row. So what is the number of columns in the 0th row? Number of columns in the 0th row is already 1. So what happens in the 0th row and in the first column of this 0th row, we place the number 50. So you see over here we are placing the number 50 in the 0th row and in the first column, and this count value is becoming 2 because there is a plus after the storage of the number. There is a plus over here, so the count value becomes 2. Correct? So now you see, when you go to the next number, what is the next number in our list? Next number in our list is 432. Now 432 divided by 1, 432 divided by 1 gives us 432 itself. Mod 10 gives us 2. Correct? So that means this is telling us we are to insert the number in the second row. We are to insert the number in the second row. Now when we come to the second row, we call the count value of the second row, we call count 2. Now when we call count 2, we see that count 2 over here is 0 because the second row, the row that has the row number as 2, is empty. So the count value of that is 0. So in that second row and in the 0th column, we store the number 432, and this 0 over here becomes 1 because there is one element in the row. Correct? Similarly, when we come to the next number as 24, we get the digit 4. Applying this formula, 24 divided by 1 mod 10, 24 divided by 1 mod 10 gives us 4. That means this number 24 is to be inserted in the row number that is 4. Right? So no row number 4 and count 4. So we call the count of the row that is 4. So 4 has a count value 0 because it has got no elements. So over here in the 4th row and in the 0th column, we store 24 and this value becomes 1. So you see, this is what we had got from our when we were just doing it ourselves mathematically. This is what we got, and this is what we are doing using the algorithm. So you see 1050 in the second row 432, in the second row 432, in the second row 432, in the 4th row we had 24, over here in the 4th row we have got 24. So this is how it is working for the 0th depth or the unit place depth. Correct? So after the unit place depth, you see, when all the numbers has been arranged in the two-dimensional array using this loop, after that this loop is getting used to again reassign the numbers in the two-dimensional array to the X array, to the array X. So all the numbers that are there in the two-dimensional array, one by one, row-wise, is getting put back into the array. So after the first iteration, we will get this list, right? Now after we have got this list, I want to show you something. Again, we will call this a range function using x comma depth. Now the depth will become 1, right? That means we are going to work on the tens place numbers. So again, when the arrange function is called, again the count value, again count is going to keep count of the number of numbers in each of the rows. So again, we will be having an array that is count, and all the values initially will be made 0. This will be the array count, and all the values initially will be made 0, correct? Now you see, when we calculate this particular expression, trunk is equals to int pow 10 comma depth. Now what is the value of depth? 1. So 10 to the power 1 is 10. So trunk becomes now 10. Trunk is no longer 1. Trunk has become 10. So now, right at this moment, the 0th element of our array is 10. The 0th element is 10, correct? So what do we have to calculate? 10 divided by trunk. That means 10, trunk value is 10 at this moment. First element of the array is 10. So 10 divided by 10, which gives 1, mod r. You see, the expression is mod r. So mod 10, because r value is 10. So 1 mod 10 is 1. So you see the row number that has come out from the calculation is 1. That means I am to put this number in row number 1, and row number 1 has got no element at this moment. So in the row number 1, in the 0th place, I am to put the number 10, and I am to increase this count by 1. Did you get that? Now when we come to the next number is 50. So you see how the expression would go. The expression would be 50 divided by 10, which will be 5, mod 10, that is mod r, that is 10. So we will be getting 5. So that means in the row number that is 5, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Row number that is 5, 50 will become the 0th element, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this count value will become 1. Right? So this is how the elements will be arranged. Let's come to this element. Let's come to this element 256. Now when we will come to this element 256, you see 256 divided by 10 would give 25, and then we mod it by 10, we will get the number 5, and then that means we are to insert this 256 in the 5th row, or the in the row that has got row number as 5. So you see every so in this iteration we get the calculation where we get to know the row number in which we are going to insert the number, and temp is the two-dimensional array that is getting created, and count array is keeping the track of number of elements in each of the rows. So again, after this, you see over here, again this loop will run, and we will rearrange the two-dimensional array elements into the list or in the array. So in this process, the array will the sorting algorithm will run. And how long will it run? It will start from 0 and it will go till depth less than mod, that is over here mod is taken as 4, so this outer loop over here that is calling the arrange function will be called total 4 times, and after those 4 iterations the algorithm will automatically stop.